Welcome to the Yankee Rican podcast, where we talk all things Yankee and sports related content. My name is Frankie Crespo, alongside with the best co-host in the world, Teo Kum. We're two Puerto Ricans, two New Yorkers, and we talk all things sports. And today we have so much exciting news, so many exciting things to talk about. The first thing we have to talk about, the New York Knicks are finally NBA champions again after 53 years, the first finals appearance since 1999, and we finally succeed. People have come and gone before they've won, and oh my god, it's been so worth it. If you're a true Knicks fan, this is one of the most exciting moments probably in anybody's life, and I'm just so excited to share with you all, and I'm happy to share it with my co-host.
Amazing, amazing. I was watching the game. Obviously, a lot of people were. I was outside at a watch party with my friends. I was watching the game, and with like 10 seconds left, the Knicks are about to win it. In my mind, I was still like, damn, the Spurs, they're going to find a way to come back. And just because, this is a very, 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 very crazy experience because we've seen so much bad experiences for the Knicks. Looking back at like game 4 in particular, when Josh Hart missed that layup, it reminded me a lot of, the Patrick Ewing 1995 game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final, missed that layup and dunk the ball. Anyways, apart from that, I was just in pure shock that the Knicks were able to do something that has not been done for the last 53 years. It was an amazing watch. The city was on fire. Buses were being smashed into pieces. Emel's head was on a pike. Put it on the screen right there. You could see his head. The New Yorkers wanted him dead, and the Knicks are finally a champions. How about that?
It's I feel the same way. I felt the same way. I was just like, it was such a close game going into the end there, and I was like, oh my god. If anybody's gonna do it right, it would be the Spurs. They had a great run. They took down the reigning champions in the Western Conference Finals, and it's just like, I don't know, and it's crazy because the media really made it seem like the East were like, no matter who came out of the East, that the East was gonna be the underdogs, and we just mostly dominated the series. We lost one game, sure, it was a tough one, it was a close one still, and it's just so amazing. Like I don't know how you can make this a better moment than it already is. Well, except maybe with other New York related events. Obviously, actually, yesterday, as of recording, was the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Super exciting. Mamdani was there, Alvarado, Jordan Clarkson. It was a huge moment. A lot of good fun. Um, and of course, with the Yankees have had pretty good success recently, despite some upsetting news, which we'll get to also. And I guess the first thing that we should address is, since our last episode, Judge is officially have been out for a few games now, and he'll probably miss a few more, including being in the All-Star game. So
For the season, most of the
and
season, he won't be back until around August, September-ish.
yeah, so Judge, who was looking like another MVP candidate, he's not going to be it. Um, it's very upsetting for the Yankees. It's upsetting if you're a baseball fan, in sports in general, and basically you just kind of have to see how the Yankees are going to work. But the Yankees have been really grinding their way to making sure they get their victories. The pitching has been excellent. Um, Despite some hiccups along the last few series, you got to take what you're going to take. The next few games are going to be less challenging for the Yankees. Um, and I guess we really should like talk about like the impact that our injuries have had. And I was wondering if you want to address that real quick.
No, I don't think I will address that. I guess I will. The injury bug has claimed quite the few Yankee players within the last weeks. Judge is out with the rib stress fracture. Grisham is out with the right hamstring strain. Stanton is back on the IL with that right calf strain, and Wells is out with cervical headaches. And I say to Wells, take a Tylenol. And these are key rotation players that the Yankees are very used to. So losing on pieces hurt a lot, along with the fact that Max Fried is still injured, a key player for our pitching rotation, and particularly with Judge, Wells, and Stanton, it forced players to really step up. So first, you have to give credit to Paul Goldschmidt. 30 years old, and Paul Goldschmidt still finds a way to keep hitting consistently, especially with the singles and the home runs. To me, that shows that is the perfect combination of between contact and power.
Yeah, Goldschmidt has been really excellent. I mean, if anybody forgot, Goldschmidt is an MVP. He's a former MVP, and he's one of the best modern hitters in the game. So yeah, like of course, he's older, but he's still gold, and he'll always be Goldschmidt. So yeah, he's always gonna be great. And just don't forget that like the Yankees have guys who are probably gonna be either borderline Hall of Famers or Hall of Famers, and one of those guys who are definitely a Hall of Famer is Goldschmidt. So just saying his excellence is shocking for his age, but not shocking for the things that he's accomplished in his career. Um, and obviously, Rice has been such a strong candidate this season. Jazz has been really putting in the work. Again, Volpe has been pretty good, and despite some cringy moments here and there, still. Um, and yeah, it's exciting to see the Yankees really continue to have success despite their current struggles.
Ben Rice has also been a great player for the Yankees with the injuries that's been happening. It seems like moving forward, Ben Rice is going to be sticking with that DH and first base role, and he'll be swapping that role with Goldschmidt every game. Which to me, there's two ways to look at this because Ben Rice can play as a catcher. We've seen him do that. But the question is really, can he hit as a catcher? Because playing that catcher role is a hard position in of itself. And as a player, you know that you're not going to go 3 for 3 or 2 for 3 all the time, which shifts over to where Ali Sanchez has been called up, and he has been training that position with JC Escara. And to me, it kind of it kind of looks like I'm just watching Tweedledee and Tweedledum over here because both of these players have just struggled to hit. They both, in their own right, have at least been able to put the ball into play some of the time. And to fairness, they're slowly starting to heat up during this Blue Jay series. But when Wells comes back, and he'll come back soon enough, it's just going to be the same issue. So I kind of like to look at this more of like the three musketeers that can't hit.
Yeah, I guess what's so funny about Sanchez is just it's cool to see like well, I don't know if it's cool, but it's funny to see a Sanchez in the catcher role again. With the history of Sanchez's being catchers for with the Yankees, because the first thing that I thought I was like, "Ooh, is this guy related to Gary?" And I had to look into that. I don't think he is, but I
No,
wonder if
no,
he's
no, no,
not,
no,
right?
no, no,
That was
no.
my first question. I was like, I mean, they don't look alike, but you never know, it just happens, But
Just
it's
just because two people have the same last names doesn't mean they're
that's true. That is true. I'm not related to Elvis Crespo, so that is true. But maybe. Anyways,
I don't know
but
anybody
yeah.
named Coom.
Well, there's got to be someone out there. We'll look into that. I'll let you know. And then
Okay.
the only other thing, I guess, um, again, it's just the catching situation. And we did talk about a few options, not long ago in our last episode, and I kind of did talk about Adley Rutschman in a way that I I like Adley. It's just injury-prone players on the Yankees are just way too common, and it's not something that you kind of want to continue adding on to. Um, but I do have to admit something. Adley has been hitting and continuing to play in a way that he kind of looks like his old self again. And honestly, if the Yankees are desperate enough for a good hitting catcher, and they could get a deal with the Baltimore Orioles, which I don't know how they're going to do it. It might involve trading away a player that you may not want to trade, one of the prospects. But you might have to, again, we're continuing to win games despite our catchers, but I don't know going into the postseason if you really want those three catchers to be your main guy. That's the current issue.
I think the obvious no. The problem to me is just all these players they can hit. It's just sometimes it's unlucky and sometimes it's just strikeouts. You're not gonna go 2 for 3 or 1 for 3 every day, but it's the consistency that matters the most. Austin has not been consistent. Ali Sanchez has not been consistent. JC Escarra has not been consistent, and you can't blame the hitting staff because that's not the problem. The hitting staff is not the problem. It's just players have been just kind of in a slump. Now, Ali Sanchez went for 2 for 3 yesterday. So did JC Escarra. Well, he went 1 for 3, but he did get a hit as well. So it might be a Randall Grichuk situation where once they start hitting up, we just bring them down and they'll do better somewhere elsewhere. Or do we actually want to invest into these catchers? Now, me personally, I don't think it would be great to really invest in Austin Wells. We're starting to see that it's really not working out. So making a trade would be great. Problem is that honestly, I don't know if the Yankees are in the best position to make trade.
Yeah, that's actually completely true. Because the thing is, if the Yankees are gonna make a trade, knowing that their budget is like almost at that limit where they can't invest into a S tier catcher. They're
Yes.
not gonna pick up a. I mean, I don't know. You're not gonna get somebody of the quality of, let's say, Will Smith. I guess I guess you could say that. You're not gonna get somebody like, um, Gabriel Moreno or something like that. So it's like I just don't know what's gonna happen with the catching situation. There are a lot of good young catchers who are coming up, but it would involve losing players, either Jason Dominguez, Spencer Jones, or one of your rotation pieces or starting pieces of the young guys, which I don't think the Yankees want to take a gamble on. Again, with their continued success, you just don't want to get rid of anybody. Kind of just want to keep the players around and just kind of see like, well, if we're winning now, we could win later, kind of mentality.
But do you think that given this chemistry that we have going on, would it be more better to invest into these catchers? Because I think like it would be great to have a better catching hitter, but at the same time, it's that we have such a good flow, especially now that Judge and Stanton are not available right now, and we're going towards more of a contact hitting scenario. Would it just be more better to get a contact hitting catcher, or just leave it at that and let Ali Sanchez and JC Escarra figure out who sucks more?
Okay, I guess in that situation, you just gonna kind of have to figure out what the pitchers think, because I feel like that's something that as fans we kind of forget. It's like if the pitchers like the current catching situation, then they're not gonna want to get rid of the catchers. They're gonna want to keep the catchers because, I mean, pitching is half the game, and pitching can earn you a win. Obviously. So it's like the Yankees have great pitchers, which maybe means that they like the catchers that they're currently dealing with. And you kind of have to consult with the current pitching rotation for the Yankees and be like, do you think that we can get this guy? Do you think we could get this guy? What if we traded this one away? Like, because again, you bring up team chemistry. The chemistry between a starting pitcher and the catcher, who they constantly catch, is a big deal. And it just wouldn't shock me if they vote against it, getting another catcher this far into the season and kind of having to deal with that. and the repercussions that come from it. But I guess we're just gonna have to see because the trade deadline is basically around the corner at this point. Especially with the All-Star game coming soon.
Yeah. I'll say one thing that we 100% need to do is trade for some better bullpen pieces. Now, the bullpen has always been wishy-washy. It's always going to be that when you have a baseball team, there's going to be some days where pitchers are not doing well. So you kind of just have to adapt, right? If let's say Garrett Cole's not doing well, you adapt and try to put somebody like Hedrick in. Now, Jake Bird got to go. I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of people have been saying. Jake Bird has to go. He was the pickup when we made that Ryan McMahon trade. He has not been performing well, and I get it. When you have a player like Jake Bird going over to a big market team, it's going to be tough for him to really get into a bit of a flow. But he has not been doing very well, and it's the same thing for Paul Blackburn, which I still don't know why we have Paul Blackburn, but we do have Paul Blackburn, and I think just making those trades for better bullpen pieces would be super ideal. There was also some rumors about getting Yorvani Cruz in at some point and replace him over Jake Bird, which I wouldn't mind seeing that. I mean, we're in a good position now. We're in first place in our division. It wouldn't be mind, testing out some of our rookies. We're already doing that with Spencer Jones. Now, granted, the situation is that when Judge is out, we have to put in Jones as that replacement, and then Schumann is obviously in for Grisham. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. I know you might want to see Camilo Duvall go, which is like, you know what? Fine. I'm okay with letting that happen. But my biggest thing is, we have a good starting rotation. Let's work on our bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's actually shocking how well the Yankees have been doing despite their kind of like holes in the boat, like and the ship is not sinking. It's kind of crazy because yeah, you just see so many pieces missing or pieces that don't fit, and yet we still like smash it together for a win. And it just doesn't make too much sense. Like, not a lot of teams get away with that, but the Yankees do, because they have so much quality around. Again, they have arguably the best starting rotation in baseball. Um, they have arguably some of the best hitters in baseball. So yeah, obviously, yes, the Yankees are possibly going to struggle. The next few series aren't gonna be too straining on the Yankees. At least I'd hope not. Um, but there's always the chance that we're gonna start to see the Yankees kind of struggle, and they're gonna have to start making some executive moves to better the team going into the postseason and going into the second half of the season.
Yeah, time will tell. I mean, the next series we have will be back home. White Sox will take on New York. White Sox has been a team to look at. Actually, pretty decent. 38 and 32 is not a bad record at all. So we'll see how they'll face against the Yankees. Then they'll take a little series where they'll take on Cincinnati. That'll also be a great little watch. Eddie best, but they do have a decent good roster. But as I've stated before, we're in a very, very good flow, in my opinion. I think that the offense is continuing to be reliant on contact hitting, and mixing this in with power is very crucial. I noticed that a lot of our games prior, especially last year, we were more focused on the long. I think obviously the Yankees this year are still focusing on the long ball, but at least now that the two big power hitters are now this rotation is forcing us to really focus more on just getting the ball into play.
Yeah,
Taking better takes. Volpe is maybe the exception in this case, but like even then, like getting the ball into place, focusing better is just that's how good baseball works.
yeah, and yeah, we definitely do have to basically talk about these past few series, and I kind of want to start in obviously um, the first game of the
Well, I
past
do have to
Cleveland
say, are
series.
you okay? Because I hear irons in the background.
Um, yeah,
Are you,
actually, no, I'm in some sort of trouble, but actually, no, I'm not.
uh
But
oh.
just gonna wait for that to pass. You know, so crazy. There was so much noise, obviously, these past 2 days. You know, like when the Knicks won Saturday, just everyone is like, we got fireworks going on in the neighborhood, and you hear police sirens, and people were screaming and all that. Sounds
a
like
lot of
chaos. And then obviously the
a
parade.
lot of
Yeah, chaos is just here in the neighborhood. And then but let's get to the Yankees Guardian series. Uh, can I just say, like, again, I mean, we've had this conversation before. Will Warren, just his pitch count just goes up so much in his starts sometimes, and it's just incredible to see. In 4 innings pitched, he gave up 3 hits, 3 runs. 2 of them were earned, 5 Ks, and 2 walks. Do you know how many pitches he threw? Or do you want to guess?
91.
He threw 91 pitches. 91 in 4 innings. Um, Now
It's
the
it's
Guardians
brutal.
obviously are a great team. It's brutal. That is brutal. And again, the Guardians are not a pushover team. They're actually, again, it's funny. We talk trash about the Guardians before our first series with them, and they kind of, obviously they beat us up. Um, Obviously, this is the opposite sort of this time around, but yeah, they kind of just were Warren struggled. Blackburn blown save, of course. You know, that's just how that goes. The hitting was actually pretty good. They put it together. It went to extras. First game goes 7-5. Tuesday, Yankees win 3-2, and Cole gets the start. Now Cole is still coming off of uh, injury, but 4 innings, 5 hits, two runs, both of them earned, 4 Ks and 2 walks. 83 pitches. Again, this is a Guardians team who just they really make the pitchers work. Um, Again, it was a close game. Duvall actually and Cruz actually work great duo, Puerto Rican Dominican duo. Um, Always love to see that. And then
Alvarado and
going into
Towns.
yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say, and then going with the Yankees and Guardians final game. Rodon, super strong start. He gets a win. 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 7 Ks. He did give
And
up a
honestly,
long ball. Yeah,
Rodon has been back into that motion. He's been doing well. Um, 6 innings pitched is really good. He did that the other day in the other series against Cleveland, and then he did it again when he took on Sacramento. He's getting back into that flow, and he's proving more of a reason why he should be in that starting rotation.
yeah. And he just did great. He went 6 innings through. Still, we're still throwing a lot of pitches, obviously 96, but he got through six, which you can't say for a lot of these starters for the Yankees sometimes. The Yankees win 8-4 that game. Um, then I was wondering, do you want to cover the Blue Jay series?
Well, game one, we lost the game one, and it was
Yeah.
particularly brutal. Weathers has been off and on, and it was expected. I made that early season prediction where it's like, if Warren Weathers is up to that plate, expect runs to be scored because that's just how it is sometimes. And I was proven right again. Also,
Yeah,
there was a good amount of contact hitting here, but it wasn't in the Yankees' favor that time.
yeah, definitely. When Weathers is on that mound, like again, it's crazy because early in the season he really had more success, but the Yankees just wouldn't provide runs, and that's the reason why he couldn't win these games. So it's sad to see him struggle now, knowing that the Yankees are scoring more runs than they were when his last starts come around. Um, but yeah, again, a starter going 4 innings, giving up that many runs, it's just not a good look. Um, the hitting was really tough this game. Despite the fact that we scored 5 runs, just you see a lot of overs, a lot of low contact. That was really a tough one from the Blue Jays. Um, And then going into game two, kind of a slow game, honestly. Um, 3-1 with again Goldschmidt just showing his quality that game, and also Dominguez also having a good one too. But yeah, the Yankees, Cam Schlittler, who it's funny. I saw a thing. He said the Blue Jays are easy to rage bait, which is hilarious. Because I'm like, yeah, didn't we get knocked out by the Blue Jays
Yeah, I don't
last
think we
postseason?
have a
But
right to talk about that.
I was like, listen, I love you, Cam, but maybe let's not talk trash until we get to
So
that point of the season. Um,
yes,
but if anybody's gonna talk trash, it's gonna be Cam because he went 7 innings. He did give up 6 hits, but only one earned a run, 7 Ks, more walks than I feel usual from Cam with 4 walks and 1 homer. And he threw 101 pitches. It's crazy. Cam really gives
yes,
off like old school starter, and he again just such a quality player. Um, our guy Fernando Cruz and Bednar. Bednar puts it to bed. It's always a great time. Um, and yeah, also my thing with Spencer Jones is like, do you think he's like again, it was nice to see him get his first few hits, like, the singles and stuff, but he just struggles to hit so much. Do you think it's a mental thing, or do you really think his swing just does not work in the big leagues? Like, I just don't know what's going on there.
I think it's a mix of both. I think his swing can work in a major league aspect. We've seen it work prior. I think that Spencer Jones is just trying to get used to being that starting role because that's what he was hyped up to be, right? As this next Judge that's coming up. But there's a difference between Spencer Jones and Aaron Judge. And for Spencer Jones to have the kind of run that he's been having is, not a good look. So time will tell to see if he can really adjust to from the minors to the majors. Sometimes it's easy for some players and sometimes it's just difficult. So I wouldn't really count on Spencer Jones yet. I know a lot of people are saying or not saying or calling for his head. I just say relax. You know what I mean? Relax. Let's wait till I say July to August to really get a full opinion on him yet.
Yeah, and the only thing you can't take away from is that he's such a great defender. Um,
Yes.
he really moves like this. Like he's 6'7", but he moves just so quickly. I guess the long legs help, but he's quite fast for his build, and it's actually kind of shocking. Because
And you could be a
even though
great defender. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, you go ahead, go ahead.
No, and you could be a great defender, but at the end of the day, it's all about working on that swing.
Yep, that's just staying consistent. Again, like Spencer Jones has a history of changing his swing, so maybe uh, I don't want him to change his swing, but just do what makes you feel comfortable. And obviously, because I forgot who says it, but somebody once said, a great player once said, "Your swing got you into the major leagues. Why would you change your swing?"
Pete
I,
Rose,
I don't know. I think that was that Pete Rose? Yeah.
that was
So because it's true. That's true. It's absolutely true. If your swing got you to the point you are now, which is playing in the big leagues, playing in the MLB, why would you change it? So, I don't think Spencer Jones needs to change that much. I think obviously maybe his approach needs to change. And I just obviously we're all wishing for the best with Spencer Jones. We want to see him succeed. And we don't need the next Judge. We just need the next Spencer Jones. We just need you. And just keep doing your thing. And then Yankees win the last game of the Blue Jays series 8-3. Will Warren again, only 4 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, only 1 K, which is strange. He's been striking out more people, but that start not really. 98 pitches. 98 pitches. Duvall actually pulls through. That's always great with the win. Jake Bird blows a save because obviously him and Blackburn are demons straight from hell sent to destroy the Yankees. And
I don't know about all
yeah,
that.
okay, well I don't know. Maybe we just gotta like blow some sage around in the locker room when they're in there, or something about that. I don't know what's going on with them, but was that too much? Anyways, it's
It
okay.
was a little bit too
And
much, but it's all right.
it's okay. They're not evil guys. They're just baseball players, and that's what happens in baseball. Um, but yeah, if you continue to play like this, we're gonna send you to Mexico. But yeah, I guess you just kind of want to get into the White Sox series because, I mean, I know you've commented on before, but I do kind of have this thing with the White Sox where it's like it's shocking to see them kind of have so much success, and the players who are bringing them this success are just so fun to watch. And I was just wondering, what do you think about the White Sox series going into tomorrow?
I think it'll be the first real test that we have with this new roster that we're working with. While the big players like Grisham, Judge, Stanton, and the rest of them are out, this will see how we'll kind of like mesh this use to our advantage. As we stated, the White Sox have a pretty young and good roster, so and also Randall Grichuk will be playing, so it gets his old team that went behind his back. I'm very curious to see how this game will go, but I think the Yankees will take 2 out of 3 from this series,
2 out of 3.
and that's it.
All right. And I do have to agree, by the way. Yeah, the White Sox have an exciting roster, and it's actually kind of sad because there is one player that the White Sox aren't going to have going into the series, which is Murakami. And actually, that's to our benefit, knowing that Murakami has been such an excellent player. Um, so we are going to still see some class from some of these other players. Um, First person that comes to mind is definitely, yeah, Grichuk, who's been hitting very good for the White Sox, which makes us look a little silly for getting rid of him. And then the other thing is actually Miguel Vargas, who, I mean, famously last season he kind of lost his stuff. Like he kind of just he was playing for the Mets, right? Is that, I don't know if you remember that, where he just kind of throws his cap into the crowd and throws his glove and stuff like that, and he kind of just got super frustrated. Um,
You know what's more
and
messed up about Miguel Vargas is that
yes,
he was a Dodger at one point. The Dodgers
yes,
got rid of him and sent him to Chicago. And
yeah, no,
the same Chicago team that went 41 and 121.
he basically got sent to the worst place on earth. Like that
We got
that's
sent to
kind of
hell.
sad. But oh, so we can say that though. But yes, White Sox. But that's just how it is. But he's been so great this season, and I won't be shocked if he gets into the All-Star game somehow. Um, but I guess we're just gonna have to look into that, especially when All-Star game actually starts to roll out. Actually, what's your opinion on the All-Star game merch, like the USA flag designs and stuff with the stars? Have you seen
I
those?
haven't seen it. No, I have not.
Oh man, look at those real quick. Those are so nice. I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of want that. Like the Yankees hat would be nice, obviously.
No,
Um,
these are nice. I think they're
nice.
interesting.
I think, well, they're a lot better than the past few All Star game stuff. I don't. I mean, okay, it was okay, like these past few All-Star games, like designs and stuff like that, but this one's a lot more exciting. Obviously, it's a special occasion for the All-Star game or whatever, but
Yeah.
we just need more thrilling All-Star game designs. Like it's just so bland. Like no more tan, like no more flat colors, no more weird fonts. Just
Make it
just
interesting,
make,
you know?
make it interesting.
It's America's
Ooh.
50th.
Yes, yeah, and they honestly they kind of succeeded with the 250th. Very good designs, and I just want them to. It doesn't have to be a special occasion. Like the All Star Game is a special occasion, so just always make it special. Always make it look good. That's all I'm saying. And I guess this kind of basically leads us into sort of uh towards the end right now. There's a lot to look forward to. If you're a New York fan, obviously, just a fan of New York sports in general, and it's just been so exciting. Obviously, being here to cover it, and being here to talk about it, and just living in the moment, knowing that we have so much to look forward to. If you're a Yankees fan, Knicks fan, maybe if you're a Rangers fan, not if you're an
Yeah.
Islanders fan, sorry. Definitely not if you're a Mets fan, despite their recent success. They're not going anywhere. But yeah,
We'll
just it's a good time.
we'll see. Anything can happen in sports. But that will wrap up this week's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking some time out of your day to listen to Puerto Rican Love talking about sports. Catch us next week when we'll recap the White Sox series. And until then, see ya.
Bye.